Alright, William from Sinamno here, and welcome to a live stream. And I am actually super angry right now because I thought I've been streaming for the past 1 hour. That's right, I've been literally talking to myself on the computer, thinking that I was live streaming. All because there's now a new button on YouTube called Go Live, which I never actually saw. And I just pressed go live here to start streaming here like I would in the older version of YouTube streaming service. I would just click that and it will start streaming without me going here to click go live. And because of that, I was talking to myself for an entire hour straight, which is dumb because I did so much work right here. I had so much work right here that I thought that maybe I was live, people were watching, and then this happens, and I'm actually not live up until now. Oh my goodness, I have so much work done, and then you tell me this happens? Oh my goodness. What is even wrong? There are things that you shouldn't do, YouTube. I mean, that's a good feature that you added, but like, at least tell me with a pop-up that I have to click that button now, because I didn't see it. Oh my goodness, I'm either dumb, blind, or YouTube is just not being helpful anymore. But in a nutshell, what I've done for the past 1 hour is do a bunch of work on the AzurAPI. Link in the description, by the way, for the repo. At least I think it's still in the description. I can't even check the description anymore or something. I can press edit. Okay, yes, it's still in the description, as you can see right here. So, check it out. So, average watch times, 46 seconds to whoever has been watching, 1 minute. There's one person watching. I think that's I think that's me. I'm just gonna close out. And let's not talk about it, yeah? Okay, there's probably now 0 viewers because I just literally just left. Alright, anyways, let's get back to coding. So I have the version checker. I have everything downloaded here. I think my video has been recorded? No, it doesn't seem like it's been recorded either. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I was going to upload the video of me doing all this progress, but seems like that's not going to be the case anymore because it's not recording. I thought it auto-recorded as well. Rip. Well, that happened. It's just amazing, don't you think? Well, whatever. I don't even know anymore. So, okay, there are a few things I'm gonna need to do. First, I don't need these here anymore because I did all the works here that you guys didn't get to see because I thought I was live streaming. I don't need these here anymore, I don't think. And so I just need to import OS, read the files from the data folder, and I think that's about it. Now, the worrying thing is get current working directory that I'm using here. Now, depending, I don't know how this works. So I've never made a module / package and uploaded into the internet to put into, you know, the pip install package thing on Pipey. You know, I don't know if get working directory would get the directory of the module or whether it would get the directory of the user's program, like say a Discord bot. So I don't know. So that's a little bit of a problem, but so far it works, so I'm just gonna leave it be for now. I'm going to explain stuff here just because probably a lot of you are not going to understand. So this stream was meant for me to code this entire AzurAPI updater, which checks for updates and then update the version and download the latest version here, which I have right here. Hence why you see it's in green, thus saying new data that has been put into here that I should push and commit to GitHub. Commit and push to GitHub. But yeah, that's what this is all about. I moved some stuff from here over to here. You would see I created a folder if it doesn't exist already, and then I get all the files and get all the files into a list, and so did I do it here so that I can stop myself from copying and pasting with open_self.file blah 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 json.dump blah 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 4 times with a single, so I can do that with a single loop. And I did some testing here as well, because live in front of you guys, letting you see how I actually code instead of being a perfected guy that knows everything. In fact, I had to even go in front of everyone onto Stack Overflow, checking the documentation and everything, to know how to actually do some things, because I am not a professional and I do have a book that I could actually have used, but for some reason I don't have it with me right now, okay? So I had to go on Stack Overflow and check for the answers myself, so there's that. But that's what happens behind the scenes every time I code or someone codes anyway. I mean, everyone goes on Stack Overflow at least once a day if they are a programmer. Anyways, let's get those rant out of the way, because I am actually angry that I wasn't actually live up until now. There's still 2 viewers. I have no idea who those 2 viewers are. Yes, I know. I am explaining stuff to people watching. But anyways, AzurAPI. This is a pen. I don't think I'm gonna need these anymore. I've got the updater here, so I just need to get the files, which I think I can get using the OS. You can get using OS. Or I think I can get it using open, and then I open the data there. Yes, actually. Yes. So, here's the thing. I'm going to create a method that gets the data for each individual file, instead of actually having it as a property. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is when I version update, it's going to return a list of the new files directory. It's going to be the same directory. I'm just going to return the file, and then I guess I would just reassign the files, and that should be that. I mean, if I read the file from the beginning, it'll be an outdated read, right? I'm not entirely sure. This is why I don't like to download files locally and then get the files going on and off. Stuff happens. Okay. Okay, so the updater and then the version update will always happen when I start the application, which is why this will stay as is here, and this will stay as is because I want it to, so that when the user creates an instance of AzurAPI, they get an update instantaneously, and that's why it's cool, I guess. And in the updater, in fact, I can get updater, and since they are actually here, I can get the files straight from there. That's not something that I thought of up until now, actually. That's My problem is whether this will stay as is, or well, okay, the files are there, so I can easily get them from there, so that's nice. Then I just need to read the file every time a method is ran, just to keep the data that is in there fresh and up to date. So I should create a function, a method to get this file. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to have to do that. So, well, here comes the GitHub latency because I'm live streaming thing. Okay. 3 viewers. This is the most viewers I've ever had in a live stream. Thank you, peeps. Def. I'm just gonna do get data, get file data. I'm gonna get self. I'm gonna get file in here as well because we need to pass in the file. Oop, here comes the latency again. This is why you don't like to connect it to GitHub. Or use, yeah. Okay, let's quickly pass this so that we can ignore the errors. Right, so we get file the data, we need to read the file, and then we need to return the data from that file. It's very simple. So let's hopefully that the enter key is going to register. I'm gonna read the open. I'm gonna read the data folder, and the data folder is going to, I don't know what just happened there. Okay, the data folder is gonna read the. Actually, no, I don't even need to do this. I'll just simply put file, and with open file, this is going to be read as f, which stands for file. We just need to pass this. Hopefully, it registers my enter key. Come on, GitHub. Come on. Work with me here. There we go. We're opening the file, and we're just gonna. Oh, okay. So we're reading the file, and we can just return f. Let's call it data, and we can call this data. Okay, this in theory should work. Okay, the data is in JSON, so I should JSON dot load. Yes, load, and then we'll just load the data. Okay, this should work in theory. This isn't the latest. Okay, so if this is on GitHub, this isn't the latest. This is I need to do a pull request actually. I should actually do a pull request. Actually, no, this is for a new branch, so that should be fine, because if I go AzurAPI, utils, actually not utils, I don't need to go there. If I go to AzurAPI.py, I think there was a pull request, and yep, there we go. It was merged with the chapters, so cogs. Yep. Just a bit of stuff that I need to sort out after I do a pull request. 3 viewers, yay! Hello. So what's this for? I've already explained so many times. This AzurAPI is an API to get data on Azur Lane, a mobile game. That's what this is for. It's just chilling, I guess. I'm not chilling at all at this point in time, but you get the point. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change the get version soon because I need to get the file first which means this should actually be moved here, and this happens. Okay, so now okay, okay. I'm just waiting for this to reload. So version data equals to self.get file data. I just need to now pass in file, which I can get with self.updater dot version info. What is version file? Version file. Just like that. And now I get, not only do I get the file, wait, now that I'm gonna handle all the files in the updater.py because it just feels more appropriate, I guess. It just doesn't feel that appropriate here, but it definitely feels more appropriate there, if that makes sense. So basically a tool for determining, sorry, I just joined here, so I didn't know explanation before. No, so basically, this is a JSON API, which is currently from this repository that you can see right here on GitHub. There is a bunch of JSON files like chapters, ships, version info, as well as equipment.json. And what I do, for example, I don't want to click on ships right now because it's going to lag. So let's say I go on to chapter.json. Not JS, rip, that's the wrong one. Chapters.json. Here we're going to see a lot of information in the JSON file. So this will allow us to grab the information from this JSON file, and we're just making a wrapper using methods and object-oriented programming to easily get this information for a more user-friendly experience. For example, if you're coding a Discord bot and want information on Azur Lane, you can do that using this wrapper, which grabs information from this JSON file. If that makes sense, I'm really bad explaining that now that I think about it. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Did that make any more sense? Did that make sense? Anyways, version data, we get the file. Now we can get the version data, we get the ships info, and we can get the equipments. And now, if I just quickly run this here, this should log the information that I have locally. Yes! Oh, ouch. That hurts. Okay. That worked better than I thought it would. Nice! This works. Bam! There we go. So we got the ships version and we got the equipments version. This is for the version when you haven't updated yet. And that is going to be that. And get file data works. It returns a perfect JSON data, and we read the data, and perfect. Oh, for those who are actually wondering what R stands for, here it stands for read, which is why I'm reading the data. That makes sense, so it's that. Yes, it is for data mine. I don't know why I thought you said determine the game instead of data mine. I can't read. Okay. Right, so now that I've got the version update, so I need to check the version with the online JSON and that compare it with the version that I have here. So, okay, we have an update check, and we also have a version update. So, update check can be used by, let's say, the person, the user. So when the user can make a command to check for updates, but doesn't actually update, and then they make another command for version update, they will use version update. That makes sense. And my version update here, this method right here, will actually use the update check as function method as well. So there's that. So here's what. Let's see. So data check, update check. So that means I need to grab the information. So I mean I need to get a request going on. Which is why I didn't put it from here, because that data will be outdated. So there's that. So right. So let's see. Let's put in. Okay, we get args, so we can get all the files that we need in an array. So we're gonna pass in the. I'm just gonna simply pass in all of that. I'm just trying to think how this is going to work. Okay, so because we only ships. This is not good. This is not okay. You know what? I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't add. I shouldn't reinitiate this here, because I'm gonna use this method in version update, which already has this. But now that I think about it again, I think I'm going to have to re-add this into update check, because the user uses this. They're going to have to get the request themselves otherwise, which is not ideal. So I think I'm going to have to just recopy this now. So I just need to get the version info, which shouldn't be too difficult. Just literally that. And I think that's literally it. So I just need to check the info, and the version file, I can get the version. Actually, now, if I put self, meaning that I don't need to. Oh, you know, nah, that's not making much of a difference anyway. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I think putting self, that's going to be heavier, because it's assigning a new method, a new property to the object. Yes, you can actually. Yes, you can grab all the specific. You can grab the value of the specific ship. Indeed, if you go to AzurAPI here, which I already coded, you can grab the ship by ID or by their names, and you can get every data of that ship. So, for example, I don't want to click on ships.json. In fact, that should be ships.json and not ship.json. Oh, let's not talk about that. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of information about the ships, including the skills they have, enhanced value, the slots. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I played the game and I still don't know what that is. The stars, that is, you get the names of it in different languages. Pretty nice. And you get everything you need to know about a certain ship, a certain chapter or stage, and so on. And now that I think about it, as I said, I should name this ships.json, because that's what it actually is about. So let's delete this entire data folder again, because I'm going to re-download everything. I'm going to re-download everything because I think that's probably the best course of action. And, okay. Before I continue, let's just run it to get all the data downloaded again. Shouldn't take too long. The reason why it'll take long is probably because of my internet, but that's about it really. Here we go. All the data should be downloaded. Perfect. And alright, so get the version info from the online, and then we just need to check the information against the downloaded file. So that shouldn't be too difficult. So we can just do with, we're gonna open up the soft.version file as a read. We're gonna as file data. We don't want to mess up and think that it's from the version info. As file data. And okay, so we got the file data, which basically, and then we're gonna reassign file data, and we're gonna JSON.load, and then we're gonna load the file data. This shouldn't cause any issues, I don't think. Hopefully. So there's that, and now we can basically compare the versions. So if I'm just going to go and copy this just because it's annoying. Where is it? So if I go over to this here, version data, boom. So if file data version number is less than version info, then we're just going to append. I already explained this, I think, but I'm going to use a list. I'm going to have two elements in the list. The first element is going to be for the ship info, whether it for the ship, whether it has an update or not, which is going to return true if it does, and if it doesn't, it's going to return false. And the second is going to be the equipment's version, and it's going to also return true or false, depending on whether it needs an update or not. So there's that. Just waiting for my enter key. Okay. So what should I call this? Check. Variable name. Variable name, please come to me. What should I call it? Update check, I guess. Update check. This shouldn't cause any issues because this isn't a class property, so that should be fine. And we just do update check dot append true. Because of how long this is, I would rather, if this was shorter, I would use something like something like a ternary operator, so I can just use if this, then append else, append false. Excuse me. Alright, phone call ended, so let's get back to coding. Did I get a message? Ooch, that hurts, lol. What does that mean? What hurts? Okay. So, if this was shorter, as I was saying, I would append true and append false otherwise. In a single line, but I guess I'm just going to have to append false at this point in time. So, I just kind of wish it would just work right now. The enter. Okay, there we go. Else, we're just going to append false. Now we're gonna have to do this like one more time, because we need to check the version of the equipments as well. So, if you would please work if file data, we don't need to put that there. If file data is less than the version info, and then we just literally just copy and paste this. Simple. Bam. It's as simple as that. Sometimes I don't know why it likes to do this, so there we go. Fix. Bam. I feel like this thing can be much shorter. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. After we finish with that, we can just return update check. There we go. I just can't. I still feel like I should be able to. I don't. Anyways. In the end, it's basically practically the same number of code anyway. I don't think that will matter. So if there's an okay, so now what I can do is I can return. Now what I can do is something very cool. Is first is let's say ship update, and then we can do equipment update, and we put this into equals to a self.update check, and this should just run this update check here, and we get shipped the update and undefined variable. Very nice. That's the whole point, because I'm defining it now. There you go. Thank you very much. I actually get the data opened up. It should work. It should work. So let's say I get test equals to 1 and 2, and then I say A, B equals to test. A should be 1, B is 2. So that should work. And let me just wait for this here. I'm thinking whether the update check should have the auto. Okay, BRB phone call. Disturbed by a phone call, not once, but twice. But anyways, we're back. Okay, so let's see. Right, so we get the update, we get the equipment update, we get ship update, we can check whether it needs an update or not, so that's cool. So if ship update, we just need to literally, it's a simple thing, we just need to do, it's really simple, and there's going to be a little bit of repetition. I might fix this off camera because of the repetition. I might need to fix it off camera if I ever find a better way to do it. But if I don't, it's going to stay as is forever and ever. So if ship update, meaning if it's true, that means we can just go ahead and well, grab this ship list. Okay, we're gonna need to put this all the way at the top because it's a version update. We need to check that out before anything. So that's going to be there. So if and then if ship update, that means this is already the latest possible, meaning that it has to be correct. I don't see why this wouldn't be correct. So if that is it, then we're gonna open ships file, and I'm gonna write to it, which is going to we're not appending to the file, we're writing to the file, meaning that we're going to be replacing the content inside the file. I don't know why I'm explaining things, because I literally don't need to explain any of this because this is not a tutorial. As F, and I'll just need to literally dump the JSON.dump, and then we'll just dump the files that is in the dump ship list. And we're gonna write into F, and we're going to ensure ASCII is false and indent it by false to keep the data clean. And this is basically it, and we're going to basically repeat this. Now that I think about it, I can use a loop again. I don't see why I shouldn't use a loop. But I'm going to take a look. I'm gonna think. Let's just not think about it for now, and yeah, let's not think about it for now. After this, I really think that we should just return. After all this is done, I just return it. So that it just exits. It doesn't continue down here because it's already the latest version. But I guess that doesn't really actually matter, because if this returns false, which should be the case, because yeah. Well, this, however, wouldn't work. Oh my goodness, this is so much work. Because this wouldn't work. We would get an error if everything here is empty. If this doesn't exist, all this doesn't exist, this will just cause me an error, and I can't use that. And that means this has to be called after this entire thing. But that means I need to recall this. Actually, it shouldn't. Actually, because if the version update is being called, this in theory should already be the latest version. This should already be the latest version. yes, this should already be the latest version if there's an update. So it doesn't matter either way, but we're just gonna check the update just in case anyway. And because then we don't need to do unnecessary data. We don't need to do unnecessary or rewriting to the file. So there's that. So yeah, okay. But yeah, okay. Panic over. Now we just need to do equipment update, and we're done here. Equipment update, and then we'll just literally copy this file, and then we'll just change it to ships file, and ships file to equipments file, and ship list to equipment list. And we're done. This entire thing is done. So if there's any new update and I run version update, and not only does it already basically get the latest information, but also get to check if there's an update. If there's no update, then this doesn't run. And if there is an update, it runs this piece of code here. And the only reason why this is here is because I don't want people to run this command and there's no data there already. There's not data there already. And the worst case scenario is these data are here, but they are empty, and this entire code doesn't work. So should I validate that as well and check, because this is essentially checking for version info, but what if version info is empty? That's a little bit of a problem. If that is already there, if that means this runs. If the data that returns is I think I'm going to validate. Okay, how do I check if the file is empty? I can open it. I can open the file and read the file. Interesting. Okay, so let's test this out. Let's test this out. Is version update already been called? It is. Okay, nice. If this works, I just need to test this out real quick. So with open self.file version file, I'm gonna read it as data, and then we just need to check if I just print the data as a text, what happens if it's empty. So if we just do print data dot text, this should be a thing. Just casually waiting for this to load. It's just the worst thing ever. Dot. Wait, is test not a thing? Text? It should be a thing. Let's test it anyway. Text is like a data.json. Right. Dot read. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna return. I'm gonna return so that the error doesn't follow down, because first off, update checks from version info, and version info doesn't exist, and that's a little bit of a problem, and I'm gonna cause some errors. So I'm gonna go to version info.json. I'm gonna return. I'm gonna make this an empty file. I'm gonna run this. Let's see what happens. Let's see what gets printed out when we read this. Do I get an empty string? Or what happens? I need to know what happens during the error in order for me to be, so that I can actually validate this. Oh, I just get an error. A JSON decoder error. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, where was this coming from? Return JSON.load data. Oh, is this coming from here? Oh, right. Okay. Right, okay. The easy way to fix is to literally not do anything there. The function doesn't get called, everything should be fine. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I need to know what happens. It prints out a blank line. What does that mean? JSON.read equals to this. Does that equals to that? It should return me a true or false. It should return either true or false. Come on. True. Yes. Okay. Nice. Okay. If the data equals to that. If data equals to that. This is important just for the version, because if we get the version, that means we are definitely needing to we're gonna get the new version data, the file, and reading the file again. Okay, let's just fix this for now, right? So if you can just do this version file, and this is version info. Now, extra indents here. Okay, I'm having a problem tabbing. I don't know. I can't tab the text. It's tabbing. Hello? Yeah, I'm having issues tabbing my code. It's a good thing this uses spaces indentation. I can just count the number of spaces. A tab is just very inconvenient, but there's that. So it gets that. I guess that works. But then, what about the other data? If JSON data just happens to be empty, then this would work. But what if the other data are also empty? Oh, why am I doing this to myself? It's making things harder for myself. Which means okay, fine, the tab doesn't work. Oh my goodness. We'll do that there. Do that there. This should work. This shouldn't cause any issues. And then we literally call in this exact loop again. We're just gonna call in that loop. We're gonna check if this time, if it's going to be there. I'm gonna read the data this time, but see how inconvenient it is? I need to press spaces instead of tabs. This time I'm gonna open and we're gonna view the self the files, and then we're gonna get data, and then we're gonna JSON dot dump. Oh wait. Oh right. I have to redo this. So if the data is empty, then write the file. The amount of time I have to open that folder, the same file though. I wonder if I can read and write at the same time. I mean, it's. I think it should be. It should make sense, right? That I can read and write without reopening the file. Because this seems very, very ridiculously long. Let's try to doing this. Hello. I'll check the GitHub later thing. Alright, bye, I think. Thanks for whoever left the like. Right, I need to check this out. A Python open read write. Link create open append read write. Open a file for both reading and writing. Thank you very much for actually having this here. R plus is a blah blah blah. Same time, this reasons I've open system called file opens tiny wrapper. Open R plus B. B on Windows, B appended to the mode opens the file in binary mode, so there are also modes like. Okay, so I just need R plus, and then we're done. We'll read it. If data is there, if the data isn't there, then dump the data in there. There we go. I was waiting for this to tab back, but my tab isn't working. I don't know why. I don't know why. Sorry. I think I really should make an announcement. I think that should be okay. In theory, should be okay. So JSON is empty. And now it should write my version info because it found that it exists but is empty. I'm just crossing my fingers right now. Character maps to undefined. Car map. Version update, data, codecs, decode. What is this issue? I have no idea what this issue is. Just because I don't know what that beast means, because it apparently opens it in binary mode. I don't know if that is supposed to work or not. Definitely not. So read R plus technically read the info. I have no idea what car map stands for. Does this work? If this works, I'm just gonna leave it as is for now, but if it doesn't, I'm just gonna screw it. Does that work? Nope. So I'm just going to go ahead and just remove this entire thing for now because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to fix this. If anything, I think what I should do is actually run the version check all the way up here. So I can just, this should work in theory, because I need this to run before it reaches the moment then get information, because this is in the constructor. Let's delete this data. I need to check if this works. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter since this will only show if I'm running the application, if I'm running this as the application. But if but since I'm using this as a module, this doesn't really matter. But it's just kind of nice to have it there, you know. Okay, so it does create the data, and yes, okay, that's very nice. This should turn green anytime soon. It's just lagging a little bit, but everything seems to be working just fine. I've got all these JSON data stuff's worked out. We check whether it needs an update. If it needs an update, we check it down here and update it. And if those files don't already exist, let's remove this line that we don't need. If there's no file, just download everything. And if there are files, then we just literally check for the version, and there's that. This, however, only checks if there are no files. This doesn't actually check whether a specific file doesn't exist. Actually, it does. Actually, it does check if a specific file exists. But however, the entire folder has to be empty. That's the only downside, I guess you can say. But really, that's just about it. That's really it. I think I'm gonna do some extra work on this off cam because I'm getting really tired of streaming now. Yeah, thanks for tuning into this random live stream that I decided to do and chill. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and before I end, what are some good places to start learning Python? I would recommend reading a book, like a very basic Python book, like a Python crash course and the Python cookbook. Or you can start with the how to automate the boring stuff with Python, and you can also start with learn Python the hard way. There are many books that I will recommend you reading on for Python. If you can't have access to the physical copies of the book, that is paperback, go ahead and get the digital version. It's really not that expensive. It's like, I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember because I have the paperback. But if you want the digital version, you can always check it out on Amazon. I believe you can get that. I think you can get that on some other ebook websites. You can get it directly from the author too, if I remember correctly. But there's that. Or if you don't want to read books, then I would suggest reading from the documentation. I do so myself even now, and I learn from the documentation as I go, and sometimes I just Google it and check things out in Stack Overflow and stuff like that. You can't really just learn the language on your own, I guess. And you also need to follow guides like PEP8 to make your code readable. You can check that out on PEP8 Online is a way to check whether your PEP8 is working correctly. For some reason, there is a PEP8 guide that I have, but it doesn't seem like it's actually bookmarked. This, I think. But there's many. There we go. This is it. You just come here and just follow everything. This entire page. I read through this entire thing. This is why I know PEP8 like in the back of my head. So read on PEP8 is a styling guide, but I recommend reading on that after you learn the basics of Python, Python, whatever. After you finish learning Python, some basic stuffs, loops, iterators, string concatenation, and all the things like that. My microphone got disconnected somehow. But anyways, I think you should be able to learn Python pretty easily in many different places. I mean, YouTube has a lot of great tutorials. I would suggest watching videos from Centdex as well. His Python tutorials are amazing. I learned quite a few from him as well. But that's a little bit of a shout out to him, I guess. So thanks for chilling out with me in this live stream, and I'll be ending it here. Talk to you all later or on the Discord server.